All right, we're live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to another edition of Kayfabe Corner. As me, JPO, Jordan Pierce Owens, chats with one of the stars of professional wrestling. We're here with Vinnie Ramagucci. Vinnie, how are you today?
Fan-damn-tastic, Jordan. What's going on, brother?
Not too much, man. That is my first question, though. Seriously, how are you? How's your spirits? What are you up to? How are you feeling? You feeling good?
Yeah, man. I'm in really good spirits. A lot of good things going. A lot of personal development I'm working on, and just all good vibes coming along, bro. So,
Nice to hear. Nice to hear. So, of course, let's start off about the origins of you and pro wrestling. Not necessarily you physically involved, but what is the first time you came across pro wrestling? Do you remember?
oh man, I was like 7 or 8, I believe, and yeah, just got a hold of the remote, just changed the channel, wound up on like WCW. I started with WCW first, and I think one of the very first guys I saw was like Disco Inferno. And then from there, I just started watching more and more just to, see what it was about. And what I really got hooked at is when I changed over to WWF and I saw, The Rock and Stone Cold. Obviously, like it's probably like a good majority of everybody's story.
So, besides Disco Inferno, of course, who would you say was your favorite? Like, who did you really latch on to early?
Who did I latch onto? Like in the beginning.
Yeah, just like who was your favorite? Like, who was somebody you really enjoyed when you first started watching?
It's really funny to me. Val Venus. I don't know why that just gimmick just kind of like I was like it was so bizarre to me, and then I just had to keep watching. I can't tell you how many times I replayed that Titantron.
Hello, ladies. Do you still follow him on Twitter?
No, I'm not really big on Twitter, honestly. I have a very small footprint on there, if at all.
Now, I don't know. That's
More.
I think he says some very. I think he says controversial things sometimes. I think he's a polarizing figure now. Actually.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I need to take a look because I guess we can relate on that avenue, I guess.
So what is the first thoughts of actually getting involved in pro wrestling? When do you first start out? How old are you?
Oh man, you have to run that one back. You're a little glitchy.
Oh, no problem. No problem. See if when is the first actual involvement with pro wrestling begin? How old are you? When do you first actually start making it happen?
Oh yeah. So obviously, like a lot of people, before they actually got trained, they probably, they rest around with their friends, not necessarily like backyard, maybe just like, just messing around, like in like jumping off the beds and stuff, whatever. I used to do stuff like that. When I first started training, I was about 18. I was around 2008, going into 2009, and yeah, I found Body Slam University that was up in what Coral Springs, I think it was, and so the head trainer there was Jimmy Snuka at the time. So got some tidbits from him. I didn't stay there too long, maybe a couple months at best, and then switched over to Rusty Brooks School, School of Hard Knocks. So that's where I got like my full training. After that, I started getting bookings, and the rest was history.
Is there anyone else that has kind of helped you along the way? Anyone else you want to kind of give credit to?
Yeah, there's a plethora of names to throw in that hat. I probably couldn't even list them all, but Soul Man Alex G, Primetime Daryl D, Ram Man Johnny Evans, rest in peace. Flex Magnum, Stud Magnum, you know, uh, Nightmare Factory. I was there 2021. Like the second wave they have. So Cody Rhodes, QT Marshall, and all the other coaches that are there. Just so many. There's such a big list. All the people we meet, have an influence on it, all of us. And I mean, even you, I owe. I can. Oh, come on, yeah. You've, you've you've given me a hand along the way. You know, I've heard you on commentary. You know, like you're pretty like up to date with like the character and like things. You know, like just little intricacies that you point out, and like you know, I'm very appreciative of that. So like those little things always mean the most to me. So in that regard, I can put you up there.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
All right.
So I'm always interested in the origins of a name. Where does Vinnie Ramagucci come from? When do you conjure that up, or who helps you get there? Where does it come from?
Mm, you know, it's like semi hazy for me how that just came about. What I will say is I do remember trying to find something relatable, something I can tap into, as you know, character wise and whatever. And I do remember at the time I was working for ICW, you know, with George Portolando, Scorpio, and he he had a concept for myself to team with the likes of Skull Mussolini and Apocalypse, APOC, and they were collectively known as the Somebodies. They were the I guess you could say the non-Italian Italians, right? So I think it was just kind of a thing to just. It started out like I guess following suit in a way, like you know, all right, you can bring me in, I'll come up with some catchy name or whatever, and then I was the mouthpiece essentially. Um, and then from there, I broke out into I kind of just developed into my own um, entity, if you will. So that's pretty much the origins, if you will, and then everything else, from that point on till today is just like a tweak on on who I've become as a person from that point to now.
Have you ever toyed around, either at the beginning or even recently, with anything else? Have any other names or characters come to your mind?
Absolutely. I've actually had a second. Actually, we talked about this. Yeah, last time we were around, we did talk about this. I did have an idea for another gimmick. Not too sure how it would be received, so I haven't really got the wheel spinning on that. But and
Are
it's
you
also
still
like
are you still leaning that way, or
a little bit. Yeah,
I
I'm
was just
gonna I'm
say
gonna
the
pitch
twinkle in
talk.
your eye makes me feel like you want to do it.
Yeah, I want to see if I can pitch that somewhere. See, do like a test run, see if it can gain some footing. If it's acceptable, I guess. It's a little edgy, if you will. So,
Do you happen to remember your first match?
mm, my first man, I think it's probably a Rumble, to be honest.
Mm,
Um, yeah. So, and then I couldn't even think of like the first singles match,
let's
or
say
actually,
after
I could.
that.
That's really tough. Yeah. I'll be the first to tell you my memory is not the greatest. And in this business, you'll find that to be the case for a lot of people, for a multitude of reasons. Um, Concussions could probably be a leading one, but
Uh,
yeah, I
Talk to
think
me
it's
a little bit about I feel like there's a correct me if I'm wrong. There's a gap there where you were away. So what caused that? Like, where were you?
yeah. So my wrestling career, if you will, has always been a very on and off situation. Just with certain other things that I chose to prioritize at the time. I'm a father. I was also in the military for about 8 years. That took
That
a
was the
huge
first thing I
time.
remember hearing, that you're in the military. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I did 8 years in the Navy, and that took a huge, chunk of time, chunk of energy, um, a lot of responsibility that was on my shoulders to carry. So just an amalgamation of things that I just felt I needed to prioritize over wrestling at that point in time, and also just I've always felt like I needed to be the person to jump in when I'm comfortable, like when things in my life are just aligned properly. I couldn't be the guy that, that had like the 1998 car that was just like breaking down everywhere, didn't have money for gas, didn't have money for food, didn't have money to get new gear, things of that nature. Like I wanted to be like a polished product when I completely submersed myself into it. So everything else prior to that was like, dipping the toes in the sand.
Was there ever any thought of while you're on a break to not come back, or was it always in your heart that okay, I'm definitely coming back, just a matter of when?
I think I think a lot of people in the wrestling business can definitely relate to this notion, but I've always had a love hate relationship with wrestling where no matter what, like something's gonna pull you back, right? Um, and then you get pulled back, and it always just seems like the same process. You get pulled back, and sometimes the environment, in which we're dwelling, as far as wrestling goes, can be a little toxic, a little bit draining morality wise, and you just kind of need to take a step back. And every time I needed to do so, I made that a point to do so.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say, do you think it's actually helped you kind of go on having those kind of breaks of clarity and collectiveness that has actually helped you prolong it?
Yeah, I think it's given me a sense of longevity, um, in like the realm of like vitality. I'm good upstairs. I'm good. My body's healthy. Uh, you know, thank God I haven't had any like serious injuries. I think the only things that have ever happened to me like was that I've gotten split open a couple times, but that's probably the extent of like my injuries, and then maybe like a sprain, but never anything like never broken a bone or anything like that. Um, but I do feel that yes, like taking those respites, just to collect yourself, is always paramount. It's always something I think if anybody's thinking about doing that right now and they're on the fence about it, I would strongly suggest they take that break and just collect themselves, and then they can jump right back into it when they're ready.
If someone were to ask you who is Vinny Ramagucci right now, as like you try to explain yourself, who is Vinny Ramagucci the character?
Who is Vinny Ramagucci the character? He's a very self-realized person from his experience in this lifetime. Um, he didn't quite understand his mission, his purpose. He didn't quite understand his identity. Uh, but present day, where we stand now, Vinny Ramaguchi is a very self-realized individual, um, and he's all about the glitz and glam, bro. Like he's just Gucci scarfed out, man. He's got to be dripped out. Very, very high class nowadays. And that goes back to like what I was saying before about like I wanted to get into a level where I was comfortable. You know what I mean? Um, you would get Vinny from the gutter, like back in the day. Now you have a more refined, like like an aged wine Ramaguchi, current day.
What are some of your favorite matches you've had? Who have you really clicked with?
Uh, Off top, I would say ERA, Ernest Alexander III. Probably one of my favorite matches. Was, where was that? Yeah, that was it. Pro. There we go. Boom. We're in Unit Pro. That was a championship match. One of the probably like handful that I've gotten. But no, we have very good chemistry in the ring. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why it's buffering. Oh no, it is playing good. Oh, it's buffering again. My internet must be bad. Trying
Yeah,
to play
that's
it.
the one. That's the one right there. Yeah, that was such good memories from that time period. 2014 was a great year for me, wrestling wise. The chemistry I had with Era in that match and anything we worked subsequent to that was, we had a really good time. Hmm, who else did I click with? Mm, I haven't worked Ricky Martinez, but like we haven't had a singles match yet. But we brawled in like some tag team matches and like rumbles, and we always have fun together and stuff like that. So I would that's a match I'm actually opting for in the future.
Hold on, we're getting there. We're not there yet.
I know, man. I'm just in sixth gear, bro. I'm just trying. I'm trying to time travel. Um, Goodness, Angel Rose, or Diamante, as we now know her. Um, we've worked together a few times, and that was always those were always bangers. Goodness, Aaron Agony. Aaron Agony is always a fun guy to work with. Man, there's the list is I wouldn't say it's a large list, but it's a distinguished list, and just looking to expand on that.
You mentioned before actually, so you've been able to stay pretty injury free. Nothing too big.
No, no, nothing crazy. Yeah, like I said, the only injuries I can really think of, like I've I've had like an ankle sprain, but never a break, never broke a bone or anything like that. And then anything else was just like me just getting busted open or bleeding, whatever, splitting my eyebrow or getting my nose jarred. And that's it, man. Yeah, everything else is I'm in I'm in I'm in good shape. Not limping yet, not feeling too hurt. Just the regular wear and tear.
Speaking of shape, what was it different in your? I don't know if it was diet nutrition because like the clips we just saw, obviously in really good shape then, but you're in a different kind of shape now. So what did you change up? Do you enjoy working out? Like what was that transition like?
Huh. I think what changed the most key fundamental difference was I was just paying more attention to what I was doing, whether it be the work in the gym or nutritionally. Just having more awareness and being more conscious of what I was doing, the movements I was utilizing, what I was intaking. Probably like I don't do it too much, but sometimes I'll count like the calories that I intake or the macros and all that stuff. So just a heightened sense of awareness of what I was doing, why I was doing it, um, and working with intention rather than just kind of going through the motions. I think that's what made the difference for me.
What are some of your favorite promotions and locker rooms that you've been a part of? That could be both past and present.
Say that again. Sorry.
What are some of your favorite promotions that you've worked for, or locker rooms you've been a part of, both past and
Oh, yeah,
present?
yeah, yeah. Okay. So the ICW slash Unipro locker room is probably going to be like the one that's like the most fundamental to me because I spent the most time there. I worked the most with those two promotions. Yeah, those were really great times. Honestly, I wish that whole locker room was still around. Like that whole collection of characters that we had. You'll see different various people in other locker rooms, but I mean, just when we had everybody there, like it was such a good time, man. But um, otherwise, CCW, I've been to shows there. Real Pro, thanks to you, um, was really fun. Meeting Zachy, that was a that was a hell of a time. Good stories. Hey, shout out to David's mom, by the way. Um, she's she's a real one. Goodness, Platinum Pro is cool. I like working there. And just recently, I got up with Pops and WXW. So very humbled to be accepted there. Um, another thing, I guess I could just on a side note, the Anoa'i Fatu family was a huge influence on me as far as wrestling. So love the family, love the culture. As you can see, I've adorned myself with this wonderful,
How long
piece
was
of art.
that?
Oh man, this took 34 hours. So it was split up in 4 sessions. It was like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then just the trauma was just a little bit much. So my artist told me, hey, we're gonna, we'll have you take the weekend off, and then we'll come back the subsequent Monday, and then we'll take care of the rest. And also, another side note, the artist Michael Fatutoa is the artist that works on, Bray Wyatt, the Usos, Roman Reigns, and
All right. Oh,
yeah,
you got the
yeah,
guy.
the guy. Yeah, I had to go. He's he's not a bad guy. He's not a good guy. He's just the guy.
He's the guy.
But yeah, but that was a very rewarding experience to get this. It was kind of a journey, and I really enjoyed because the thing is when I get pieces of art like this done, um, it's not just for the art that's being put on my body. It's the experience with the artist as well. And Mike and I we really clicked during our time together. Those 34 hours were very enriched as
Mhm.
far as the experience.
I was just say, yeah, that's a lot of time with one person. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely learn a lot about somebody and hell 24 hours, but we had a little bit extra. And yeah, it was
How many hours a day was that? A day? How much per
so it was like
session?
averaging like 8, and then
Ooh.
um some pushed like half, like maybe 8.5. So that was good
Would,
times.
would you ever do it again?
Would I ever you mean you mean like if we took it back and then do it again, or like just
I guess that's meant like
after
if
the
you had like an
experience?
idea for the left, would you ever consider that process again? Another.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, it covers like every
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah, you're not
every
kidding.
every
Yeah.
single inch. So, it's like it hurts. It hurt like a bitch. But no, I would absolutely do something. And the thing is, I do have a different plan for the other side. This side is more the kind of like the nature, like tribally, kind of like
Mm.
animalistic kind of side. And this side would be more, I want to say like cosmic or galactic or whatever. Um, just
Okay,
because
so
I'm
you
into
do have
that.
ideas, so it is happening to a degree.
There are plans in the works, yes. When they will be executed is a to be determined scenario.
I wanted to go back real quick to the ICW, Pro times. Is anyone still running that building? 'Cause I know a couple of companies tried after them too. Is that
I
building still standing? Have you been there at least recently?
I haven't been there. I did hear from who did I hear from? I think it was Israel. Do you know Israel Cantu?
Sounds familiar. Yes, yes.
Yeah, the ring guy. I mean, well, he's one of the ring guys, but
Right.
I would in my head he's the ring guy. Just um, he's for me he's the quintessential. But yeah, I heard from Israel that the building is they shut down. I think
Oh no, really?
yeah, yeah. So the Polish American club is no more. But
That's what I was trying to remember. I was trying to remember what was it was. It was a Polish American club. That's what it was. Yeah.
there the memories will live on, I guess. But man, that was a fantastic little venue. It always did us well.
How many times would you say you were in there?
Hmm. Like maybe 20.
Yeah,
I would
between
say
the
20.
two,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, just speaking on my own accord. Obviously, there were more shows ran, and it was not only just ICW and pro. I think there was like X Wrestling or something like
Yeah,
that.
X was the next one. I don't know, a couple,
Yeah,
maybe a
yeah,
couple others. I don't remember, but those are the three I know of.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, man. Otherwise we were like in the Masonic Temple, that wasn't bad either.
I don't think I ever got there. I did a lot of the Polish Club. I don't think I ever did that one. Maybe once.
Yeah, no,
Maybe
I don't.
once.
Yeah, I don't think you were there. Yeah, I can't recall a time. Because the last few times I remember, we had Blake Chadwick on commentary.
What's the longest drive you've had to make so far?
Um, hmm. I can think of the longest drive I've taken, but it isn't wrestling related. It was more military related. I was like stationed up north, like Maryland, whereabouts, something like
Mm.
that. And yeah, it's like it varied. It's like 14 to 15 hours, but then it could be a little longer due to traffic. So um, yeah, that's about the longest.
You mentioned Ricky Martinez before, and I was gonna get to this.
Yes,
What
yes.
are some matches? And let's start like kind of locally, as in Florida. Besides Ricky Martinez, now anyone else that's kind of on that? Oh, I would have fun with him or her. Who would you like to get in the ring with?
Man. The thing is, I've been very like kind of laser focused on Ricky.
Mm.
It's just something like our paths have always been like we've always been like kind of like parallel in a sense. We've worked in the same promotions. I've been in the same locker rooms with him like for years and years. We trained together. Um, we've had instances in like rumbles and like tag team matches and stuff like that, but never like a one off, never a one on one situation. And I keep thinking about that, and it's just something that like I guess I'm subconsciously, I guess, trying to manifest or something, or I'm just obsessed. I don't know, but it is. I've just been so laser focused on Ricky. I haven't even really thought about who else I could even work with. And I know there are people. There are people, and if I really just sat down and like conjured it up, I can put it together for you. But if you ask me up top right now, like Ricky is the only person I'm thinking about as far as people I'm gunning for in the ring. I want that one on one. It's gonna happen.
Someone book it. Someone make it happen. Uh, what piece of advice, if you could pull a Terminator and go back and talk to young Vinny, what piece of advice would you give him?
The advice I would give myself, if I could turn back the clock, I would say to be authentic, be true to yourself, be unabashedly you. Um, Take chances. Uh, I can say one of my biggest vices, I guess you could say, was that I was just very very timid, very afraid to like just take a step and be like, I can do this. Um, I guess if I could be candid for a sec. When I was 15, I lost my father, um, and he was like everything to me. He was, you know how Cody will talk about Dusty.
Mm, sure, sure.
That was my dad. I mean, he had his issues or whatever, and I mean, I couldn't say he was like a superhero in a sense, but he was, for all accounts, he was my hero. And when he passed, it was very hard on me because um, it was a very crucial time. 15, like you're learning how to be a man, right? And you don't have that direction anymore, and you just kind of get led astray. Like you're just there to kind of fend for yourself. I didn't really have any other like male figures or mentors. I wouldn't say that there was anybody I could really confide in. Um, so it took a huge toll on like my self-esteem, and my courage and my ability to just be like, okay, I need, I can talk myself into doing this. Yeah, like this is a step I want to take. So like do it, right? But it was just that was a very difficult thing for me um to figure out for myself. And it took a long time. Oh, also that year too. So that was when I lost my father was in 2005. It was like it was in August, and then in November we lost Eddie Guerrero, and I looked at him like that was my TV father. So I lost
Yeah.
both of my dads in a span of 3 months. So that was like crippling. So it was a huge hole to dig out of, over the course of like almost 17 years now. Um, but I feel like I scratched and clawed, and I made my way out, stood up, dusted myself off, and here I stand before you.
Yeah, man, you got out on the other end, which is really good, commendable, very much. Transition from that. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. That's really cool, man. Any disagreements you've had on social media recently?
Any disagreements? Say that again. I'm sorry.
On social media recently?
Yikes! That just got worse. Okay. All right. All right.
Sorry if it's if,
Let's
if
see.
it's on my end. My apologies.
No, no worries, man. I'm
Any
trying.
disagreements on social media?
I feel like I know why you're asking this question.
No particular reason.
Any disagreements on social media? I thought I was the. I feel like I'm the paragon for that. If there was if there was must see TV for for disagreements on social media, I would be the star. Um, I have very polarizing views, about and I'm a myriad of topics, um, as far as like
Any particular ones? Drop some knowledge. I want to hear from you. I like hearing your views.
Oh man, so I mean, just there's like such a handful of like social constructs that I just disagree with, and a lot of things that people like. I feel like there's a lot of constructs that people use as crutches to just kind of get by, or like to make essentially make excuses for themselves. So I heard recently, and this is just a very interesting take from um, this guy Andrew Tate. He's like a four-time was kickboxing champion. He's like a multimillionaire. This guy's freaking. He's the ultimate G, right? And he has a very polarizing view on depression. Or he says depression isn't real. Um, so obviously I live in reality, and I understand that there are situations where people do have clinical depression, and that is very real. um, and I won't ever discount that. However, I do think that there's an imperative to kind of crutch on the idea of depression and saying, oh, I'm not where I want to be because I'm always depressed all the time. And it's like, I just can't agree with that. I can't put my energy into something that's going to weaken me like that. I can't make that excuse and say, oh, because I'm depressed, like I can't, I'll never make it to WWE or something, whatever the case is, whatever the goal is you have in mind, and you just want to just kind of fall back on depression and say that that's hindering you. I refuse to believe in that. And a lot of people, I don't think they kind of see where I'm coming from in that regard. Even if they see the clip, I even like present the clip to them just because he explains it so much more eloquently, I guess. And
No, I think I'm kind of grasping what you're saying. So you're admitting that it's obviously possible clinically, but you're also saying some people, like you said, use it as a crutch. Like some people will just use it as an excuse. Kinda.
yeah, no,
Okay.
absolutely, that's spot on. Yeah, and
And that can be said for a lot of things. A lot of people will say, "Oh, it's this because of this," and yeah, I think I see what you're saying to a degree.
yeah, there's a lot of excuses going around for inadequacies and failures, and I'm just that guy that's going to point that out, and I'm not afraid to do that. And I know that uncomfortable truths hurt people when they first hear it,
Mm.
but I promise them that if they just dug a little deeper into just trying to take in the message, they got past their emotion, their initial emotional response, and they came at it logically. They, they would it would bear fruit for them in some regards.
One of the most important questions I ask on here, so please take it very seriously. Have you seen any good movies lately?
Have I seen any good movies lately? Well, I have, but they're not new.
No,
Um,
no, go anything. Just even just something. It doesn't have to be a new release.
well, I have a question for you. Are you the kind of guy to do you get like kind of fascinated with a movie, like just something you come back to and you
Possibly,
love,
sure.
and you're just like, damn, I just got to replay this. Like, I just got to keep this on loop for a while.
Oh, it can happen. Sure. What's been doing that to you lately?
Motherfucking Top Gun.
Oh, okay. So you might get mad at me. I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
Never seen
What?
Top Gun.
Aren't you the man to make the connections to movies?
Oh yeah, I mean I can tell you like 5 cast members. Isn't I don't know who's it. I can tell you Cruz, Anthony Edwards, Val Kilmer, I think Meg Ryan. I don't know. Probably it's a Ridley Scott movie, right? Other than that, I don't never seen it.
Damn, wow. Well, I would highly encourage you to see it.
I will
And
see it because I plan on because of the sequel. I plan on doing that, then watching the sequel is what my plan is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty pumped for that. So next month is my birthday.
Happy
On the
birthday.
18th. Thank you. Yeah, and then the movie comes out on the 27th, so that's a little late present,
Meant to
but
be. Yeah, yeah, a little late, but it's coming out for your birthday. What okay, so talk to me about Top Gun. What is it about Top Gun that you find yourself kind of hooked on it?
what is it that
What
I'm
is it
hooked
about
about
Top
it? What
Gun?
is it?
Just what is it about
Uh,
Top Gun that you like? Like, well, why'd
oh,
you go back to it?
okay. Well, so I mean, the most obvious answer is going to be my time in the military, like when I was in the Navy, because it is a Navy movie. It's 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 more nuanced to the naval aviation side, which is what I was a part of. I was in naval aviation. I was an air crewman, and also a UAV operator, so a drone pilot, in my time in the military. So, it kind of follows that parallel. So I kind of understand that walk of life. Um, I got the flight suit and like the bomber jacket and all that good stuff. Um, and the music, man, like the '80s. How do you beat '80s music? And then not even just the music; it's the score as well. I'm a movie score buff. That's kind of one of those little like niched and nuanced facts about me. As far as music goes, I'm a really big buff on like scores when it comes to movies or video games or TV shows. I think those kind of like the soundtracks are good, but there's something about the score and it being like very individualized to.
It can almost be another character. It can really add sometimes.
Say again?
See, I was hoping that would help. This didn't help.
Huh? I'm sorry, I didn't catch
Oh,
that.
no. I was hoping that was gonna help. That did look like that made it worse. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll stick with this. No, I was just trying to say the score sometimes I feel it can be another character. It can honestly really help the story.
Damn it! It just keeps. It's like right at the end. It's just like I'm not gonna let you hear this.
The score can be another character and really help the movie sometimes.
Oh, okay. I heard you now. Got you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I can 1,000% agree with that. Um, it's just like such a oh man, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just such a key element. Like you need that.
What okay, besides Top Gun, give me a couple more. What are you into? What do you really like movie wise?
Um, action drama. Like I like comedies as well. A lot of my favorite movies are gonna be like Denzel movies, like Denzel Washington. Comedies is like I just watched Rush Hour like earlier. That's always a classic to go back to.
Have you seen on TV now? There's a disclaimer for Rush Hour.
Say again.
Have you seen on television now? There's a disclaimer now before Rush Hour plays.
Oh man, you're thinking you're gonna have to write a little card out and be like, just hold it up.
Hold on. Look at the private chat. You see where the private chat is?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm tracking. Oh, have I seen? Is there this that there's a disclaimer before Rush Hour plays? Damn. No, I I saw that. Like I didn't see it as like when I watched the movie, but I've seen that. I think like a post or something. Somebody posted that, and I was like, wow, really? That's fascinating.
Yeah, I think
The
it's just 'cause of the couple like racial jokes or whatever. They have to just put a disclaimer now.
Man, has it really gotten to that point?
Yeah. I
Oh,
remember seeing I don't know, can you hear me now?
yes. Oh, yeah. You're
I
clear now.
remember seeing the disclaimer being like, "Oh, what really controversial movie's about to play?" And it ends up being Rush Hour.
Damn, Chin. Some greasy shit.
I'm like, "What am I about to watch? American History X?" Like I'm thinking something, like really hardcore is about to play, and it's Rush Hour because
I
of
thought we
the
were gonna see
couple
like
jokes.
thought we were gonna see some curb stomping and some teeth cracking
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean. Like the way the
just
disclaimer read was like, "Could due to I forgot what it
uh,
said, racial insensitivity, whatever it said." I just remember thinking like, "It's a silly '90s comedy. Stop it."
yeah. My expectation, curb stomp, kicking teeth in, reality.
Something. Yeah, I thought I was about to watch this
Jackie Chan
gritty,
with a steering wheel on his arm.
something gritty and R-rated, and it's yeah, that's Rush Hour. All right, Rush Hour is a good one. Give me one or two more.
Oh, half baked.
Okay.
If we're gonna stay in the realm of comedy, which I think we'll do that. Yeah, half baked. That's always a great one. God, that's so good. And 21 Jump Street. I have like
Mm.
I probably use the most like insider lines from 21 Jump Street out of any movie.
Ooh, like what?
So, if you remember, like in like one of the opening scenes where Jenko and Schmidt are at the park, they're on park duty, and they see like the gang members and stuff, and like, wow, so there's like one percenters. There's like big time drug dealers and whatever. And then right before like Jenko starts to head out, he's like Shaka Khan, and then like Schmidt's like Shaka Khan, like, and I don't know, I adopted that in like my vernacular now. So anytime like if I'm gonna say something like if I'm gonna it's an expression of agreement or excitement or something, I'm just like Shaka Khan. And usually nobody unless you're like really close to me, you understand, but I'll say it in a group that's not too particularly like in the in the in with me. So and they'll be like, what? And that's always a good time.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? Wow. I see myself in Sausalito, California. It's the place I bill myself from, but I'm not actually from because why not?
What's there? What's there?
What is there? Well, it's California, right? Like,
Oh, okay.
do you
Well,
need to
I
say
know
any
you
more?
were very specific about Sausalito, so I didn't know if that particularly
Hey,
had a
it
special
just sounds
spot.
it sounds really groovy, man. Come on,
That's true.
Sausalito, like yeah.
All right, no argument. True, true.
It's very, very saucy, very drippy, So I'm just like, so the the inspiration for that. So a part of like this new integration in my character, I guess you could say, is there's a rap artist that I listen to very frequently, very fond of now. His name's Larry June. So he's from or he talks about Sausalito very much in his songs, and it's just a fucking phenomenal like artist, like serial entrepreneur. This guy owns like boba tea shop. He's always driving around Lambos and just like he's like the illest G. And like I've named like like when you name your move set, sometimes people will like base it like akin to like the character or whatever. But like for me, I took names of Larry June songs and I adopted them as names for like signatures, finishers, whatever have you. So
Oh yeah, I like it. Do a little bit of role playing here. We're after it's a post show time, and a kid comes up to you and he goes, "Mr. Ramagucci, I really liked your match. I want to be a wrestler too one day." What kind of advice do you give somebody who's thinking about entering pro wrestling?
I'm going to observe them and I'm going to give them the honest advice based on the observation, and that's where I'm going to leave that.
All
So
right.
if you want to think MJF style, um, yeah, that's how I would approach it, honestly. But no, I would only, in all honesty, I would be very careful in my suggestions or my advice, um, and just speak with intention. But it would be dependent on the individual I'm talking to. We're all play we all play this beautiful game of life uh, on our own customized settings. I always relate life to like playing a video game. Like it's an RPG, right? You got to build your experience points, and then you can unlock like the next set of power ups, armor, what have you, and stuff like that. Like you got to grind, and to become and to achieve and stuff like that. So I know that that road is very different for everyone. So in that regard, I would just be very, you know, I would be very present in what I was telling whoever I was telling.
Any plugs you'd like to give us? Anywhere places fans can find you, or any merch drops? Any plugs?
You can catch me on IG, Mastery of Manhood, or Vinnie Ramagucci. So that Mastery of Manhood is going to be like my personal slash um, coaching because I do
You,
I do
you
kind
got
of
to give
do
that to me. Give that to us again. What of manhood?
what's that?
Give that one more time. What exactly is it? Oh, mastery.
Oh,
I
damn it, I
wasn't
just
sure if you
forgot.
said mastery. Continue.
Oh, okay. Oh, so my two IGs would be Mastery of Manhood. That'd be the first one, right? Did you catch that?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
sharing it.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, so that's
And
gonna be, you
follow.
know, my personal slash when I do mindset coaching. I do have certifications as a life coach, with specialization in like hypnotherapy and stuff like that. So I do offer that. So that's kind of like a funnel in a sense. And
Well,
then there's also, huh? Sorry.
I was gonna say let's not bypass that. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So, with life coaching, especially with the tools that I have, essentially the way I help people is, we identify certain belief systems that are running within the subconscious mind, which we all have, and we all have good ones and we have bad ones, right? And they're all running on a subconscious level. You can't really access them from a conscious state, right? So, it involves just, some deep inner work. So the tools that I utilize are NLP, which is like neuro linguistic programming. It's essentially just a way of just kind of recalibrating the way like you speak to yourself, phrases like, eliminating like self-deprecating language. Um, and to further like kind of drive that in, I also use the hypnotherapy so that you can induce a state of hypnosis in which you're more in which the person under hypnosis is more subjective or suggestive rather, um, to the rewiring process.
And you enjoy doing that a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun, it's rewarding. I've had the opportunity to do that a handful of times, both within the frame of like getting the certifications and whatnot, like going through the course, working with fellow coaches. We have like we flex our ideas back and forth, or um, you know, we have sessions with each other and stuff like that. And then also, on a more personal level, like dealing with like clients and stuff, which I have done in the past.
Any upcoming plugs as far as shows, and any got anything coming up soon that we can see you at?
Hmm. Supposed to be working WXW this weekend. So what price? So 23rd, yeah. If you're in
By the time
Mineola.
this is up, that will have happened. So great match.
Oh yeah, it was freaking awesome. I'm sure I got thrown over the top in like 3 minutes. Um, uh, that's all I can think of right now in the immediate future. Anything else? Stand by. I'll have those cliff notes for you.
And finally, before we leave, any last pearls of wisdom?
Any last pearls with? You gotta really want it. Whatever it is that you want out of this life, you gotta really want it. You can't just kind of want it. I can't just kind of want to be fit. I can't just kind of want to like, win 3 titles this year. I can't just kind of want to be a millionaire. Like you have to really like zero in on your goals. Um, and this is kind of me speaking, I think more of like in a life coach frame of mind, but there's a lot of we do a lot of talking about being very specific about your goals. Writing them out. If there's like, if you want to be rich, you gotta like you gotta figure out in your mind what that dollar amount is. It has to be like to the T. You know what I mean? And then like by this date, I want at least this much of this to happen. Um, so just be very very astute in goal setting, um, in application. Um, don't be a little bitch. Um, Fuck your feelings. Um, if lead with logic, don't lead with emotion. Emotion will always get the best of you, but if you are thinking logically, you have the power of discernment, and that will always be virtuous for you. I'm gonna leave it at that because that's really those are really like the more paramount tidbits I have.
Very nice, very nice. Vinny, I truly appreciate your time, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, whether it's at a show or even right here, man. So I appreciate your time, truly, man. Uh, Everyone follow him. You saw on the social medias, follow him live. Vinny, thank you for your time, man. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, yada yada, ding dang, the bell. You know what to do. Thanks for watching. Good night or listening, whatever you did.
Jordan, always a pleasure, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.